Hey guys, I'm gonna show you how to really impress your friends and family with a pineapple hookah bowl. Coming up. So all you'll need is a regular hookah, a pineapple, aluminum foil, hookah coals, and some hookah flavor, along with a fork and a knife. All right guys, so to start off, we're gonna take our pineapple, we're gonna put it on this cutting board so that we don't mess up our table, and we're gonna cut it at about 3/4 of the way up of the body. So we're gonna cut at around here, okay? Remember, you want a nice straight cut. And that's exactly what we have here. See how it's nice and level? Great. So we're gonna put this aside. I'm gonna show you how to do a trick later with that. What we want to do is cut out the center of this pineapple, which means cutting from here and from here. I'm gonna bring a smaller knife for that. Something like this will do just fine, regular utility knife. And since we don't have a pineapple corer or an apple corer, we're gonna just cut squares and we're gonna just do the best that we can, right? All right, so we're gonna cut this bottom out to match the top cuts that we made. So we're gonna come in and we're gonna do the same process. If you got lucky and all the squares matched up, you can literally just push this down and it'll come out the top. I got kind of lucky. As you can see, it wants to come out but didn't all the way. It's catching on this side, so we're gonna just come in and help it out a little bit. Maybe that'll do it. Yep, there you go. Pull out your core. Actually, pull it out this way, it's a little easier. And we have a hole. Now, the hole is supposed to be round, but with our fingers, we're gonna make that happen a little later. Throw this in the garbage and wash your hands. So we have a hole. Now what we want to do is carve out where we will be putting our tobacco. So I'm gonna take this knife, gonna come all the way in, pretty close to the edge, not on the edge though. I'll tell you why a little later. So we're gonna put this aside. Now we have a nice pretty area for our tobacco to go. If you were to just throw tobacco on here, it's gonna just go right down the middle and into your hookah. You don't want that. So we're gonna take aluminum foil, okay? And we're gonna cut off, we're gonna cut off a big piece. I'll tell you why. See there where we messed up? Perfect. I'm gonna rip out a small little square. This is about 1 inch by 2 inches, right? We don't even want that much of a square. We want about that much of a oddly shaped square. And we're gonna stick it in here. And what we're gonna do is poke a bunch of holes, just the same way that you would poke holes into the foil when you're gonna put the coal on top. I'm gonna poke a bunch of holes into this so that the smoke can actually go down and the shisha or tobacco doesn't go down. All right guys, so I actually grabbed a skewer, bamboo skewer stick. I couldn't find my toothpicks, but same thing, doesn't matter. Toothpick, right? So I'm gonna pull it out. And what we want to do is poke a bunch of holes into this, just the same way that we would as if we were gonna poke holes into the foil so that our coal can be on top. Decent sized holes. I'll zoom in a second, that way you guys can see. All right guys, so now we're gonna take our foil and we're gonna put it into the base. Now, when we smoke, our tobacco isn't gonna go into the water. We are ready to put our tobacco into here. I like using a little fork. You can use your fingers, doesn't really matter. We're gonna put a healthy amount because this is actually a really big bowl and you can actually smoke out of this thing for quite some time because you're gonna be putting a lot of actual tobacco into it. Now, I like doing it in an airy pack just so that you can actually get some decent airflow through all of the tobacco. I'm gonna spread it out, maybe drop some. No tobacco waste. Hashtag no tobacco waste. Come in, spread it out nice and even. And now you can see it's like very fluffy and light and airy. That's what we want, because we want the airflow flowing throughout the entire tobacco. I'm gonna add a little more just because we have the space. All right, so we're all set there with the tobacco. I'm gonna put this aside, put my knife aside. I'm gonna grab our aluminum foil and we're gonna make a decently squarish square. What? Whatever. I'm gonna put it nice and firm over our pineapple. Now, pineapple bowls are not the most efficient because you don't get a perfect seal. There's a lot of variables that go on, but if you're patient with it and you take your time, you can get a pretty nice setup going on. You guys remember at the beginning when I said don't cut all the way to the edge? Look at what I'm doing with that edge. I'm pressing it down. See how it makes like a nice flat contact surface? You don't get a perfect seal, but this is way better than nothing. I'm gonna come in, right? And now we're all set. We're gonna take our fake toothpick again, and we're gonna poke a lot of holes. And remember, we have a lot of tobacco in here. We're gonna use multiple coals. We need a lot of airflow. So here we go. All right, guys, so we have our foil poked. And now, keep in mind, this amount of hookah flavor will take some time to heat up. So we're gonna want to, before we even start setting up our hookah itself, set up our coals, put them on, and then put this aside. All right, guys, so you probably have Starlight Quick Light hookah coals. I don't recommend them because of the accelerants that are mixed in with the actual coal. I actually recommend coconut coals. They take a lot longer to actually warm up, but once they're on, they last longer and they don't give you any additional taste from the chemicals. However, if you are going to use this, I'm gonna use these for demonstration. All right, so we're gonna add 2 of these. I don't have a third one, that's okay. And we're gonna light them. Now, if you guys have these at home, you know how easy it is. You simply put these over a little bit of fire, it'll catch, and the whole thing will light within a matter of seconds. I'll be right back with that. All right, guys, so I hold these over an open fire for 2 seconds, and they're all set. I'm gonna just put them on here. We're gonna make them organized. You can immediately hear the whole thing sizzling. Stop sizzling. That's all right. So while your tobacco warms up, we're gonna set this aside and set up our hookah base. So we have our hookah base set up. Here, you can see here, I just have a regular Maya hookah. These are the same hookahs that you buy that come with a cage around them. Okay, we're gonna put our hookah bowl on top of our thing. Put our holes. And guys, that's it. You're ready to smoke. Now, if you pull and your hookah does not smoke, I may have an idea. Just a single sheet of regular tissue paper. You're gonna be left with about 1.5 inch wide strip of paper towel. Now what I do is I actually cut it at around halfway. And this is about how much I'm gonna use. So we're gonna come in and we're gonna wrap this part here. Why? Because we're going to create a better air seal with the bottom of the pineapple bowl. The hole down here, we're going to have a better seal when we put it over this situation here. See that? Put our little wind cover over the top. And let's give it a go. All right guys, remember the top of the pineapple that we saved for later? Here's a cool trick if you want to really impress your family and friends. If you have skewers, ideally bamboo skewers because they don't burn, take out 4 of them, 4 or 5. Okay, we'll use 5, right? And these are mighty long. We're gonna cut them to about halfway, okay? Set that garbage aside. And what you're gonna be left with is about 4-inch skewers, okay? We're gonna come in and we're actually going to stab them all the way into the pineapple. Because we're gonna use the top of the pineapple as decoration. Like a little makeshift wind cover, you'll see. Here we go. Okay guys, and now, look at that. Little hookah gazebo. All right guys, that's all it takes to really impress your friends and family. If you think I've earned it, please like and subscribe. But for now, be safe and smoke responsibly.